All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Big Dog Brett. Thanks so much for tuning in. Welcome back to BDB Sports. Today, we're going to be talking about my season prediction for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So this is a 2023 schedule. We're going to go ahead and jump right into it for you guys. First off, Alabama is going to start the season against MTSU. If you don't know who MTSU is, it's Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. This is just going to be a warm-up powder puff game for Alabama. Not going to spend any time on this. They're going to win this game 111 to nothing. It's good to have this warm-up game right before they play Texas in the following week. This gives them an opportunity to get that quarterback from Notre Dame seated in and playing and comfortable. So, because he's going to be tested the following week against the Texas Longhorns. Now, last year when Texas played Alabama, it was pretty close. It was closer than it should have been because if you go back and you watch that game objectively, Alabama fans, you guys should have lost that game. Quarterback was down. That was a safety, and the refs got it wrong. So, in my opinion, you guys should have lost that game. You barely won that game with Bryce Young, and you had Jamar Gibbs. I got to be honest with you. I don't think Texas has forgotten about this. I think they're still ticked off from last year. I think Quinn Ewers is going to be fired up. They return a lot of their offense. I think Alabama's going to lose this game. I think Alabama's going to come in there and they're going to get. I know it's going to be a Bryant-Denny Stadium. I get it, but I think that the Texas is really going to be geared up for this game, especially with the way they hung around last year against what I consider to be a better Alabama team than what they have this year. So I'm going to go ahead and jump out there and say that I think that Alabama is going to start the season 1-1. Week after that, for some weird reason, Alabama is going to play at Southern Florida. All the places you could play at Southern Florida, I'm not sure why that's the case, but shouldn't be the case. Alabama's going to win this game, no problem. It's a 3:30 in the afternoon game. They'll be back home before it gets dark. This game will be over in the first quarter. Then they travel. Then Ole Miss comes back to Bryant-Denny Stadium following week. Alabama versus Ole Miss. They're giving Ole Miss about a 10% chance of winning this game. Ole Miss has lost 4 out of the last 5 games. They're definitely on the downhill slide. While I don't believe that Alabama is as good as they were last year, I still believe they're more than good enough to beat Ole Miss. I think that for whatever reason, you see Lane Kiffin just decides to make the boneheaded decisions whenever he plays against Alabama. All right. Now, so here we are in the season, 2-1. This will be 3-1. Then you go play Mississippi State. You should be 4-1 here, starting to get some momentum ramp back up. And then you play Texas A&M. Texas A&M, not a great team, not a bad team. Texas A&M was looking much better at the end of last year. This is the same team that Texas A&M. I get they didn't have a great end of season schedule, record, but during the season they did play LSU to the wire. They did finish 5-7, but of that 5-7, the last 4 games they played were wins in the regular season. Well, KSU was not regular season, but you get the point. I feel like that team's kind of on an upward swing. We'll see what happens. I really think this is, at least on paper, going to be their toughest opponent so far. They're giving Texas A&M almost an 18% chance to win, and they are playing at Kyle Field. So I really feel like this could be another stumbling block. If Texas A&M is playing well, I think Texas A&M could win this game. Now, you may say, well, they'll definitely win this game. Okay, I'll take either Texas A&M or Texas as a win or a loss, but I'll let you pick one. But pretty sure one of these is going to be a loss, so I'll let you pick. Then we come down to Arkansas. So going into week 7 here, we're looking at an Arkansas team that, for lack of a better way to say it, I think they may have peaked. I think that they may have kind of slid back. They did a great job on defense last year of holding LSU to only 13 points. Georgia couldn't even do that. They also went out and beat Ole Miss, but then they turned around and lost to Missouri. And then at the end of the season, they had to go to triple overtime to beat KU. Sam Pittman's got to get it figured out there. I don't think he has it figured out yet, but he's trying to get it turned around. But Alabama's going to be way too much. Even though Alabama is taking a step back, they didn't fall off of the porch here. They just backed up a little bit. Alabama's still going to be a strong football team, way too strong for Arkansas, and that's going to be a problem for Arkansas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll beat Arkansas, and then they'll be 7-1, maybe 6-2, but I'm going to say 7-1. Then they get to Tennessee. Tennessee game, they're not giving Tennessee much credit here either. They're only giving Tennessee a 12% chance of winning this game. They're playing in Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama's a 10-point favorite. You get 3 for home field advantage, so they still feel like Alabama is a touchdown favorite at home. I have to agree. I think Alabama should win this game. I know they lost last year, but I really feel like that was a bit of an adapting problem, not a talent problem. Tennessee loses a lot. I think Alabama rolls them. I think Alabama is going to put more than 10 points on them, but it would not surprise me if Tennessee somehow figures out a way to win that game. So we'll see what happens. But for now, I'm going to give that win to Tennessee. So here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rolling into week 9 versus LSU at Bryant-Denny Stadium. They should be 8-1. Should be. So 8-1 LSU. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think LSU is going to come into Bryant-Denny Stadium. Alabama's less than a touchdown favorite. I know that they're only giving LSU a 24% chance of winning this game. I think LSU has their number. I really do. I think LSU is going to win this game. I think they're going to win it by 7, 8 points. I think they're going to lose this game. Now, so here you are, getting late in the season, playing LSU, and you got 2 losses. Then the following week you play at Kentucky. Now, at Kentucky should not be a game that you would think would be a problem. But this is a very physical football team, and they're going to have just played a very physical football team against LSU. Now, there's a bye week between Tennessee and LSU, but that LSU to Kentucky is just 1 week after another. I'm not saying that I think Kentucky's going to win this game, but I can tell you with the physicality that they're playing with, it would not surprise me if they make it extraordinarily close. This is being played at Kroger Field. But again, shouldn't surprise anyone that after that, this could likely be a 3-loss here, or they could be 8-1 here. But they're definitely, or 9-1 here. But they're definitely going to lose at least one game between the Texas game, the Texas A&M game, the Tennessee game, and the LSU game. I could easily see them maybe throwing their hat in at this point because they know they're out of the running. That Kentucky team might be amped up and firing on all cylinders. Might be lucky. Then, and for whatever reason, in November 18th, they're playing Chattanooga. Chattanooga just, I don't know why they're so deep in the schedule here. That's crazy that there would be that far down in the schedule as cupcake before the Auburn game. But they should win that game, no problem. And then they play Auburn. Auburn is not given much hope here either against playing against Alabama. And they shouldn't. Auburn's terrible right now. But they're playing at Auburn, Jordan Hare. Auburn finished 5-7 last year. Not a phenomenal performance. But when you're talking about playing against Alabama, they're only giving them about an 8.5% chance of winning this game. Alabama's like a 2-touchdown favorite. No reason Alabama should lose that game at all. So that should wrap up the regular season. I'm really high on LSU. If you haven't seen my top 10 video, preseason video, go see that. It explains it. I think LSU is going to run the West this year. I think they're going to do extraordinarily well. And I think that by the time they get through this gauntlet here, Alabama could easily have 2 losses. If they have 2 losses, they're likely not going to be going to the SEC championship game again. I think that LSU is going to beat them, and they're going to be back. So I'm looking at I don't want to give them a 9-3. Could easily be a 9-3, but I think top of the market for Alabama is going to be a 10-2. It's not a bad season. Alabama fans, I know you're going to jump in the comment section and tell me I'm crazy, but I'm also going to tell you that you're bringing in a brand new offensive coordinator. You had to go in and find a transfer quarterback out of the portal after your spring game, and you've lost your best running back, and you've lost all of the major firepower receivers that you used to have. You just don't have that stuff anymore. So you lost in Tennessee last year with a better team. I don't see that you reloaded. LSU beat you last year, and you had a better team, and they're bringing a lot of quality back. So I think this is going to be a 10-2 season. If they're not careful, if things get away from them in a couple of games, this could end up being an 8-4. It really could. It could be an 8-4 season. They could lose to Texas. They could lose to Texas A&M. They could lose to Tennessee. They could lose to LSU. But I mean, what I see right now, my prediction is going to be a 10-2 Bama season for the 2023 season. All right, guys, leave your comment down below what you think the schedule is. Tell me where you think we got it right, where you think we got it wrong, and we'll look forward to hearing you guys down in the comment section. Thanks so much. Have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.